Welcome to Discovering DeSoto, a podcast by DeSoto County Tourism. Here we chat with locals to help you discover what makes our area at the top of the Magnolia State so special. I'm your host, Andrew Bartolotta. Now let's get into it. If you've been to South Haven lately, you know Silo Square is the place to be. Whether you're grabbing coffee from Beans and Leaves, you're picking up barbecue for the family at Central Barbecue, getting the kids' teeth cleaned at Pediatric Dental Group and Orthodontics, loading up on a bagel at the Bagel Nook, or even pre-gaming there before a Bank Plus amphitheater concert. It's got that small town charm with big energy, always something new to see, taste, or do. And today we're pulling back the curtain with the person who knows it best, Lexie Hill Grisanti, Silo Square's Director of Marketing and Real Estate. Lexie, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Andrew. Glad to be here.
Of course. Okay, so for anyone that hasn't had the pleasure of meeting you yet, who is Lexie Hill Grisanti and what's your role at Silo Square?
Yeah, so I'm Lexi, like you said, I'm the director of real estate and development, and my role changes every day. So that I'm kind of forced to have a title, but my title is whatever Silo needs today. So whether that's talking to businesses about coming to Silo Square, whether it's working with our current businesses to plan events, apartments, residential, literally, if it exists at Silo Square, it's going to cross my phone, desk, or mind at some point in the day.
Absolutely. It's one of those roles, I'm sure, where, like you said, you are doing an immense amount of things, different things every day, but you are the go-to person when someone is trying to get a question answered when it comes to Silo Square. So how did you first get connected with Silo Square? What made you want to be part of this project?
Well, I guess I was kinda born into the connection. Um, at Silo Square and the builder and developer, it's a full family affair. So my dad, Brian Hill, is the developer. Um, After I graduated college in 2018, I came to work at Lifestyle Homes just kind of for an in between. This was not my career path. Um, but I stuck around because of Silo Square. And I loved the commercial aspect of it and getting to know business owners, and it brought so much more than what Lifestyle Homes has always done, which has always just been residential, home building, and this just brought a totally new aspect to South Haven, and I loved that and wanted to be a part of it, so I stuck around, and now working with my dad, my mom, grandparents, aunts, literally everyone, whether it's from real estate or accounting or development, we're all here. My husband's here now, so, I don't think I can go anywhere anytime soon.
Oh, I'm sure they don't want you to go anywhere either because if, like I said, if there's a question, you've got an answer. So when it comes to that, what's so cool is seeing the progression of Silo Square really as this beacon of live, work, play right here in DeSoto County. Really starting to develop around 2018, and you're here 7 years later, and you've got people living, working, playing, I mean, doing it all right there in Silo Square. What was the turning point for you where you thought, "Okay, this is becoming something really special?" Because like you said, it is something unique, especially for our area, to have a place where you can walk and grab, a coffee and then walk next door and grab a new outfit for the date later to then walk across the street and go see a concert and then go work out and then walk home. Like, it's such an amazing space. So talk about when you really thought about it becoming this special place that we all know and love now.
Yeah. Well, I think that first moment came early on. I think for Brian, the developer, he saw that before anyone did, which is why he planned Silo Square. So, like you said, we broke ground in April of 2018. I think it rained like literally every day that year. So, it took a while for Silo to get going with dirt work and whatnot, but we finally did. First business opened in August of 2020, so 5 years ago this month, um, which is crazy. At the time, we were right in the middle of COVID. We didn't know if we're allowed to open businesses, if we're allowed to be inside of a store without a mask, and luckily, Mississippi was the whole time very commerce friendly and, kind of left it up to individuals and individual businesses as to how they were gonna go about that. So, we opened, we did it, we didn't know if we had the signs out that said, "Please wear your mask and put Germ-X on," and but from that first I think it was that first weekend, Ultimate Gifts, Salon Haven, Magnolia House, City Hall Cheesecake, and Custom Jewelry were the first 5 businesses to jump in, the first ones to open, and I think that everyone was just immediately excited, and that first week was just incredible, and everyone was here, you could feel the excitement and just newness. It was something that DeSoto County hadn't had before. Yes, there were only 5 businesses at the time, but there was a future of, we were building more and everyone could see what the potential it had to grow, and, it just felt like a community from day one, and with every business that's opened, that community feel has grown, gotten stronger, been more and more embraced by the South Haven, DeSoto County, and, even Memphis to Oxford to, all over the place. And every business, every now we've got the, pedestrian bridge that connects us, which when Silos started, we didn't even know that wasn't on anyone's to-do list. So that's been new. There's been tons of new investments in the amphitheater and Snowden Park and everything that just makes it even more special. Last week we had the tennis tournament, we have Dizzy Dean, and you see now, 5 years later, all of those families and baseball teams at Silo Square eating at Lucky Dog, fishing at the pond while they wait on their food, or they're staying at the hotel and walking to the tournament and, or walking to the concert, and it's really cool.
It Has your dad always been a visionary? Because I can imagine for him and you, the entire family, like, it has to do you ever just take it in, just stop there and take it in and realize that this vision has truly come to life, and now there's hundreds, if not thousands of families, uh, either living there or, have a huge part of their life surrounded by Silo Square every day, and it must be really cool to have that as part of your legacy.
It is cool. There's moments all the time, especially with the community events that we just kinda step back and are like, "Wow," like, this is cool to see, like you said, hundreds and if not thousands of people at times out here and they're coming together as a community and it's something that like you said we helped to build and Brian was the visionary for. He has traveled all over the country and gotten ideas from different developments and what works and doesn't work and what would work in DeSoto County and put this master plan together, and it's cool to see it come together. The live work play community, we have business owners that also live here. They own a home here. I mean, their life is in Silo Square. They operate their business here. They live here. They walk around when they're not at their house or at their work. Their kids are, riding golf carts and from everyone at the apartments who just walks downstairs and, goes to Beans and Leaves or goes to Lucky Dog or Sip and Silo, to grab a little gifty for the weekend, ultimate gifts, whatever it is, it just is a community truly, and it is very cool.
It is. Okay, so one of the things people love about Silo Square that we've mentioned is the variety, right? You've got boutiques, restaurants, fitness, services. You all have been very intentional on curating such a unique mix. Can you highlight a few businesses that have opened recently and what they bring to this square's personality?
Yeah. Um, Recently, Pampered Paws has opened, so personally and for all the people living here in the community, we're excited to have a place for the dogs now. They can drop their dog off if they live here, if they work here, their dog can be taken care of while they're doing that. We've got Bagel Nook that just opened, not this summer, and they bring a really cool new thing to DeSoto County, and really the Mid-South beyond only DeSoto County. So they brought genuine New Jersey bagels to here, and not only are they great and they're fresh made literally every single day, so they're baking at 2 and 3 a.m. when you and I are hopefully sleeping, but it's really cool for the kids. They'll do, tie-dye bagels and on St. Patrick's Day, green bagels or, you know, fall bagel, pumpkin bagels coming up here soon, and it's just a cool thing. And then we've also got Crown Jewels that just opened on the square, and they bring, florals and different home design to Silo. So yeah, there's constantly new things, and still we've grown a lot, but we still have room to grow and bring new businesses.
Yes. Is there sort of a dream tenant that you'd love to see open at Silo Square one day?
Well, there's lots. We'd love to have, we want small businesses. We want those family-owned businesses. Florals, a florist, bridal shops, shoe stores, offices. A lot of people think just retail. And, if you go to the Hernandez Square, the Collierville Square, Oxford Square, any downtowns, any squares have offices because they're a central location. And so you get to bring, you have those people built in working here, but then it's a cool place to go see your insurance agent or your banker or whatever it is, and you can grab coffee and have a lunch meeting at Fresh Valley or whatever. So, everything from the fun, exciting businesses and food down to, the things that make the world go round, like your banks and your, medical offices and things like that.
Yeah, for sure. That's a great answer there. Okay, so you mentioned the events that bring people together throughout the year, and there's some real like staples now that are have become special for like my family, like the Christmas open house every year and buy a tree, change a life. And um you've got so many this year and you've got some more coming up. Can you talk about some of your favorite events that you see come alive throughout Salo Square and then the impact that it's made on our community just by people coming together in your space and supporting others?
Yeah. Yeah, I think events have been a big part of Silo Square's success, because people long for that community feel and things to do that are family friendly. And so from the get go, we always wanted kind of four annual events, and we wanted to do one each quarter. So that started with what you mentioned, the Christmas open house. That was the first event we ever did. It stuck around, so this will be year 5 of that, and we've got the horse carriages and Santa, and we try to add to that every year. So bringing in different ballets and dance groups and, you know, the bands playing Christmas carols and all sorts of things, so that's really fun, along with Buy a Tree, Change a Life, where we sell Christmas trees. I think that's kind of a hallmarky thing that you envision a town square having is Christmas trees, and we took that and made it into something good to give back to the community. And then prior to Christmas time, we've got the, car show coming up, so Cars for a Cause that benefits Make-A-Wish. In the springtime, there's so many, but we've got the arts festival, Blues for the Blue, that benefits our local law enforcement. We absolutely love them and couldn't do what we do without their support, so we always love that event. This year, we first time event, the Lucky Dog pub run on St. Patrick's Day, so that was more of a fun run than a serious 5K, which we do also have those coming up for the runners who aren't looking to drink green beer. But so this fall, we'll have 2 5Ks here. We're, doing a brand new event this year, the community-wide tailgate. So we wanted to add some more fun to the fall, and so with as much as we know the South loves football, we were like, "Well, what if we all tailgate up and down May Boulevard?" So that'll be fun. We'll have tailgate food and drinks and have all of, the stores will be able to display and do all their things with their fall and game day merchandise. We're excited for that. And then this year, we're also having a celebration, which is the Silas Square's 5th birthday party. So, obviously, that won't be an annual event, but we're excited to celebrate this year and kind of a day of thanking the community, for embracing it and helping make Silas Square what it is today and what it wasn't just 5 years ago. It's come a long way in 5 years, and so we'll have some free things going on, just a fun day to give back. So that'll be August no, it's not August, October 4th. We opened in August, but as we know, it's a little hot outside right now, so we pushed that back to so that everyone could hang out outside and celebrate with us. So, there's always lots going on. You mentioned the community impact. Not only did we wanna host events, but we wanted to give back to the community. The community gives to us every day through supporting Silo Square, and so we wanted to reciprocate that. So, with all of the events in those 5 years, every one of them benefits a different nonprofit. We try to keep all those nonprofits local, and literally every event, there's no repeat. That way we can spread the love because there's so many great ones, but we've been able to raise around $1.5 million in those 5 years, so that's something we're really proud of, and, just know that it is gone back to, not only Silo Square, trying to keep small business and support small business, but, doing good outside of just this development that's on Getwell Road.
Once again, it's really just cool to see. I've got a photo of the actual silo that I took with sunflowers probably 10 years ago. And it's so cool to then place it now, and then see just what has grown from there and just the lives changed and improved, and that they've been able to just find a place where they can truly, I feel like it's the theme of this episode, but live, work, and play, right? So here's a funny part. We always ask our guests, as we start to wrap up, what's something you've discovered in DeSoto County recently that excites you? If you look back at previous episodes, about 85% have said Silo Square. So that's pretty cool. But this could be a restaurant you love, a new business coming to the area, a new development. What's something you've discovered in DeSoto County recently?
Well, it's hard to there's so much excitement here, but branching outside of this, I mean, not far, but across the street at Snowden Grove, all the expansions that they've done to the amphitheater and the tennis courts and pickleball and just evolving with what the community wants and what makes South Haven and DeSoto County a place that people wanna be a part of, whether they're just coming to visit and then hopefully they come visit and they're like, "Well, we wanna live there." And I think all of those changes, our city has done a great job with growing in today's world, keeping pickleball is obviously a very new thing, so that's fun, and I love the concerts. I'll be at the one at the end of the week, and, they've made the amphitheater bigger and better and just a more enjoyable experience, so just the things that get us out and give us something to do in the community where we don't have to, go to Memphis or go wherever to have things to do with our family and friends on the weekends, and there's lots of those, so
Definitely. That's a good answer there, and still involves Silo Square, so that's just sort of like a Silo Square question. Where can people go to learn more about the businesses in your community, support Silo Square's upcoming community events, learn about upcoming events, and just get a gist of the vibe at Silo Square?
yeah, there's a few places. So a good start is the Silas Square website, which is silossquarems.com. On there, you'll find all of the businesses, their addresses, their hours. You'll find community events and dates and what's coming up later this year, all the way to houses. If you want to live here and be a part of Silo Square, even more so, whether that's Silo Lofts, the apartments, or purchasing a home here in Silo Square, that info is on there as well. Um, we're very active on social media, so Instagram and Facebook. Follow us there. That way you get the first updates of the new businesses and things that are, being announced. And then also on the website, we've got a subscriber email. So that's a great way to stay up to date too. So we try to shoot out to those subscribers, they get the first update. So before we announce any new business or new event, the subscribers are the first ones to know. So go to the website, subscribe to that, follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and you should be good in the know of what's going on.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. And thank you to you and your family and your team for not only creating a space like Silo Square, but for making it a place that families can spend time together and to have a safe space to once again live, work, and play. Lexie Hill Grisanti. Thank you so much for coming on Discovering DeSoto. Stay tuned for future episodes where we'll continue to uncover the best of what DeSoto has to offer. To learn more about what's happening in DeSoto County, be sure to check out visitdesotocounty.com. Until next time, keep discovering DeSoto. And as always, thank you for being part of our journey.